Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at who is headed your way and what do they want to say. So there are three groups to choose from. For group one, got the bird. Group two is the turtle. And group three is the ladybug. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and really feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, perhaps all of the groups that you are drawn to. And I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. Hi, group one. You chose the bird, and birds are symbolic of evolution and also of communication, of messages, of really unfurling what's been held inside, what's been sort of held back, the depicting of truths. So I'm feeling kind of the overall energy is that someone is headed in your direction that has some hope about moving the connection between the both of you sort of out of the state that it's currently in, its current sort of phase, if that's a phase of separation, or it can even just be sort of the beginning stages of a relationship. And there's really this desire to sort of shift the energies in a positive direction, to have some growth, have some movement in the direction of, again, evolving the connection, maybe taking things to the next level. And definitely some truths that have been on the heart that maybe this person has been taking a while to make a move towards you or to approach or kind of circle back in your direction, as they've really been trying to put to words the feelings that they've been holding deep inside, trying to make sense of all of that. So I'm going to start off with some tarot to get some more specific information about who this person is, including zodiac signs, maybe some energies of the connection currently between the both of you. So for group one, who is headed their way? Okay, so we've got the Ten of Swords, which is air energy, and that's Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So this is somebody that you could have experienced an ending to the connection, a breakup, a divorce, some kind of moving away from each other, maybe after kind of a long protracted sort of back and forth cycle, or a lot of disappointment, either on one end or kind of mutually experienced between the both of you. So we also have the Ten of Cups, and that is water energy, which is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this is really speaking to the energy before you went into this period of separation, this ending that occurred between the both of you. There was a lot of harmony in this connection. You both might have viewed each other as kind of like this happily ever after. You could have really felt that you'd found your person, that you'd connected with the person that you were supposed to be with long term. It really felt maybe like, you know, your search for love was over when you came together with this person. This could also be somebody that you have children with, or that you had discussed having children with in the future. So we've got the Knight of Wands, and that's fire energy, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry, a lot of mutual attraction in this relationship. And I'm feeling that that still exists to some level. Whether this is something that, you know, you just kind of keep inside, sort of keep it really suppressed, or whether this is something where you're very open about that, about still being really attracted to this person, having a lot of chemistry with this person, a strong desire to come back together with this person. And I feel that this is a big factor which is motivating them to make a move back in your direction, is for some of them really wanting to come in with this love offer, with this declaration that, you know, they still have feelings for you, maybe after a long time of separation, or, you know, after this cycle between the both of you has closed out. We also have the Nine of Cups. So this is, again, really talking about, you know, this passion and this chemistry between the both of you, that you both deeply satisfy each other on the physical level and also in an emotional sense. And in this period of separation, of, you know, kind of being on your own separate journeys, when you think back on the connection, you know, you really remember the good times. Those memories of the good times are what are keeping this spark alive, keeping this flame alive between the both of you. And I feel that this person really wants to approach and kind of shift that energy from kind of this place of, you know, an ending, things concluding, maybe kind of the dissolving of this dream, plans and preparations that you'd made, or even the breaking up of a family, and then really kind of wanting to shift the energy back into, you know, more of a satisfactory place than where you currently are at. So you could also really have been focusing on yourself, on building your own abundance, really building yourself up, kind of your self-esteem, really empowering yourself after this breakup, after, you know, this ending of this connection. And you could be in a really good place currently. And this person could definitely be energetically feeling that, and that can be another motivation that is kind of prompting them to come back into your world. We also have the Two of Swords. So this is really talking about maybe you've blocked this person or they blocked you. The energy is definitely blocked between the both of you. It's still, there's a lot of lingering energy from that, you know, the painful ending, the ending of the cycle between the both of you. This definitely doesn't feel like it was on, you know, mutual terms of both agreeing to go your separate ways. And if it was definitely very painful. It was a very painful process to have to kind of move apart from each other, and that energy of, you know, and the residual pain, the disappointment, it's still lingering in both of your energy fields. It's kind of the note at which you left this connection on when you went your separate ways. But again, you could have blocked this person, they could have blocked you. Communication could also be, if you have any at this point in time, it could be very limited with this person. It could just kind of trickle in. Again, if you have kids with this person, it could just be, you know, very kind of superficial communication just in regards to those kids at this point in time, and really no discussion about, you know, both of you as a couple, or if you have feelings for each other at, you know, still or at this point in time. And we also have the Lovers. So this can be a confirmation for those of you that resonate as a twin flame. This can definitely be, you know, this is your twin flame that you're watching this reading about, or somebody that you consider a soulmate, kind of a divinely orchestrated connection, a divinely protected connection. You can definitely still feel this kind of these signs, like the divine is sort of nudging you back in the direction of this person, or nudging you to, you know, open your heart to this person, open yourself to the idea of communications. Can also be on the flip side of that, where this person is kind of getting these signs from the universe, these signs from the divine, that, you know, there needs to be a resolution, that, you know, this kind of stuck and stalemate and blocked energy, even if it's just, you know, kind of the lingering effects of that ending that have kind of carried forth then into the present and are still in both of your energy fields, that, you know, there is this call to them to really create this balance, this restoration in the energy, both to, you know, open the potential of starting something new, starting fresh with each other, but then also to kind of alleviate any stuck or stagnant energy within each of your own individual energy fields that could also then be rippling out in terms of, if you date other people, it could be affecting other relationships, whatever, you know, this, maybe this painful breakup or a divorce. It could also be holding both of you, one or both of you, back from putting yourself out there for experiencing new love, or allowing other people in to your life, to your energy field, putting yourself back out there in terms of, you know, the dating pool, or even just opening your mind or your heart to the possibility of loving again because of the circumstances of whatever happened, where this happily ever after was kind of torn asunder. So we have the Three of Wands, and this is really talking about, you know, this time that is going into really planning that approach, planning just the right words to say, just the right circumstances. I feel your person is definitely kind of beating around the bush. If you have some communication with them at this point, it might again be limited, that you can maybe sense that there's something more that they want to say, but that they're kind of holding back on that. They're kind of maybe turning their back to that elephant in the room, even for some of them. You know, this issue in the past between the both of you that really, it's begging for resolution. This energy is begging to be, you know, addressed, kind of brought out into the light from where it's been sort of harbored down in this, you know, the darker realms of the subconscious. And in the realm of memory. And so this could be something where this person has been avoiding maybe a difficult conversation, or apologizing, or creating this resolution, or, you know, has been avoiding making contact with you to kind of unstick this energy, even though there is this, you know, this passion that exists between both of you for each other. But again, a lot of that could just be due to, you know, them really planning just the correct thing to say, or the right approach, how to approach this subject, how to really, you know, try to open that door with you, to have this discussion, to maybe express the love and the feelings that they still have inside about you. So we also have the Nine of Wands, and this can really talk about that you've been through a lot emotionally with this person, a lot of ups and downs with this person. You're both kind of world weary at this point because of your experience with each other, because of your experience in love, maybe your experiences with subsequent partners even after this breakup. And this could be something that, as, you know, dating other people or entering into other relationships, as that hasn't really worked out with maybe, you know, these other partners, because this could even be somebody, you know, that you were dealing with a long time ago, you know, somebody from the past, but like a heartbreak, an energy of disappointment that still lingers with you and is maybe affecting some, you know, new relationships that you try to have with others. And it's something that there's this feeling of really needing to get to the root of that issue, to, again, kind of reinstigate a connection with each other, or at the very least free each other up from whatever is kind of lingering in the energy field and affecting subsequent relationships, making you both kind of maybe weary of love, weary of the idea of love, very guarded in that capacity. And this can also talk about, you know, on your person's part, they're very unsure as far as how you are going to receive them, how you're going to receive this love offer, this, you know, opening of the communication, because they do have a lot of passion for you. But I feel that there's, you know, there's a lot more depth to it. There's also this emotional love that they have for you. This deep sense of fulfillment. So they're really trying to plan, and they're very much trying not to come across as just kind of a Casanova energy, where maybe they're approaching for a good time only to, you know, leave again. I feel that, you know, when this approach happens, they want to do it right. And so they've really been taking their time as far as, you know, formulating just the right things to say. And we've also got the Page of Swords. So this can definitely indicate that, you know, this person's been watching you from afar, maybe watching your social media. You could be watching each other on social media, or even just observing each other out in maybe like a mutual friend group in the community, if that's relevant to your situation. If you have kids together, then this person's really been observing you as a parent with your mutual, you know, the children that you have together. And they're almost seeing you with different eyes. is they're seeing you in that capacity as like the protector and the nurturer. And it's something which is really, it's firing up those passions. It's really, for whatever this is that caused that breakup or that ending before, they're really seeing things with fresh eyes. They're really seeing that, the qualities that you have beyond, just the chemistry and the attraction that they have for you, but kind of who you are as a person. And again, how you're kind of maybe nurturing and raising, or, co-parenting with kids that you have in common, and what they're seeing with that, maybe the way in which you are with grace and dignity, and a very kind of cooperative energy that you're doing this co-parenting. And it's really something that is, they're admiring that, and it's really motivating them to kind of want to reevaluate this relationship and possibly come back together. So we also have the Queen of Wands, and this is again talking about, this deep passion. If they were uncertain before, they're definitely certain at this point in time that, you're the one for them. The feelings that they had for you, they may have been very, last time you were dealing with them, kind of based on, just a lot of it on physical chemistry. I mean, there is an indication of, deep emotional fulfillment here, but that could have been a big part of the basis of your relationship, or maybe the way that you two connected initially the last time around. It could have been very much based on this chemistry, this mutual attraction. But it feels like there has been a growth and a maturity of that, that it goes far beyond just a physical attraction, that they're attracted to you on a soul level. Their soul is compelling them to head back in your direction, and to, again, bring you this love offer, to kind of present you with this olive branch, and really, hopefully, to kind of open the door to a new beginning, or just, again, kind of unsticking the energy, resolving, any kind of residual pain of the past, and really starting things afresh. So let's get some messages from this person's higher self. What do they want to say to you? Group 1. Okay, so they say, time has brought me clarity about us. I made the wrong choices. So that's a great confirmation there with what was coming up with this Page of Swords, and, them seeing things perhaps with some fresh eyes as some time has gone on, or they've had a chance to, really test and see that the grass wasn't greener on the other side, or, maybe they're again observing you in a co-parenting fashion, or watching you as a parent. If you don't have children together, maybe you had children with somebody else, and, they're really watching you from afar, being a parent to your child or to your children, and it's really making them appreciate you on a whole other level and it's kind of deepening that attraction. Things they might not have been apparent, might not have been obvious or applicable at the time, and they're really, it's lent to this maturation of the feelings that they have for you, that it goes just beyond the physical at this point in time. Okay, and they also say, it's easier being with someone from my world. So this can be a confirmation if the breakup or the moving away from each other initially had to do with some kind of a third party situation. In this other card here, they were saying, that they made the wrong choices. So they may have chosen to move in another direction, maybe move away from, if the relationship initially was headed, from this very kind of physical attraction-based energy, and moving toward, this kind of settling down and fulfilling life goals, or, creating a family together. And that might have been something that sort of overwhelmed them, or they just weren't ready to commit on that level. And so maybe they chose to step away from this connection in the past in favor of just more superficial interactions with people, kind of casual connections. Okay, and they say, I'm feeling lost and I don't know what to do about it. So there's that indecision that came up with this Nine of Wands here, and also this Three of Wands, and them just really being in this kind of planning stage, not really knowing how to open the door to this connection again, not really knowing what to say, not wanting to come off as, again, just this Casanova energy, just, in and out, just burning fast and burning out quickly. But they're really trying to, they've had some clarity in their feelings, and they're seeing you with new eyes, and So maybe the approach that they'd taken in the past, it wouldn't work this time. It's not, you're both different. The energies are different. Their feelings are deeper. So they also say, I keep track of you from afar by looking you up online. So that's a great confirmation there of that Page of Swords energy and, really watching you from afar in this separation. And I feel, doing some research, trying to kind of evaluate if you're with somebody, what's your life like at this point in time? Are you single? Are you available? And just really, they've observed this kind of glow up that's happened, this evolution that has happened within you. And so that is contributing to this feeling of maybe some hesitation as far as not necessarily knowing how to approach you at this point in time because of time that's passed, or, you're just a different person than when they last had interacted with you. Okay, and they say, I'm in love with you and I'm ready to take action. I want to build a beautiful life with you. So for some of you, this could be pretty similar to a message that they deliver to you when they come back in. But this is definitely, that 10 of Cups energy right there. And, that 9 of Cups, that satisfaction and really wanting that happily ever after with you. In the separation, in this time apart, in this time away from you, since you were last with this person, it's become very clear to them that, you're the one. So for most of you, group 1, this is the nature of what, your person, this person who is wanting to make this approach back to you, this person from your past, somebody you'd had a breakup with, or, a divorce, they definitely want to unstick that energy and, work toward this new beginning with you, toward really building or rebuilding that happily ever after. So let's get some more messages from them. And they say, are you in love with me or my potential? So that can definitely talk about, this guarded sort of energy that maybe in the separation from you, they might have experienced a lot of people that, just were with them for, the money that they have, their status. If they're an attractive person, then that could have been a factor too, where people were just with them kind of for superficial things. And that could have been, why these other relationships didn't pan out. And it kind of led to this sense of insecurity and guardedness maybe on their part. So, that's also on their mind, that, there maybe some of them are kind of going back in their head and sort of even questioning if the feelings were, truly mutual as something beyond just this kind of physical chemistry and this physical attraction between the both of you. And is there really this potential to, build something solid together? And they also say, maybe we are better off separated. So there's that energy of, hesitation. They're really going back and forth, really trying to kind of plan what to say. Should they make their approach? Should they not make their approach? I feel that a lot of them, also with this Knight of Wands, which is definitely really kind of like in and out sort of energy. This person in conjunction with the Page of Swords and observing from afar, they could kind of work up the nerve to really approach you, to, open that door and then kind of back away. Maybe they see something, or, kind of their fears get the better of them, and they really second guess themselves. They say, sometimes I think you can be a little controlling and that pushes me away. So this could have been an issue between the both of you in the past, maybe the power dynamic, or, this could have been something too where, the connection's going along and there's these, mutual feelings, there's this chemistry and things are going great. And, you could have started talking about, marriage and children, and that could have kind of freaked them out a little bit, or just sort of overwhelmed them, or in some way made them feel like they were being kind of goaded in a particular direction, maybe sooner than they were ready for in terms of a serious commitment. Okay. They also say, my heart is yearning for you. So yeah, there's that passion and that love that is really compelling them back in your direction. As much as these fears are kind of coming up, and that's very natural after you've had a breakup or you're in a separation with somebody, and this passion is kind of compelling you forward. This love is compelling you forward. There is also that element of, those fears that can come up, that kind of the ego sort of trying to keep one safely contained within the comfort zone of what's familiar, even if that comfort zone is not, to the fulfillment of the true heart's desire. So they're expressing to you here that despite all of that, despite any of these fears or second guessing or, these things that they're having to kind of work their way through, they're having to kind of charge their way through, that deep inside, they are longing for you. They're longing to make that approach back to you. And they say, I need more time to heal and love myself. So yeah, this can definitely confirm that kind of that back and forth. They're kind of hesitant. They're on the fence about it, but their heart is really just telling them to do it. They're getting signs from the divine as well that this is, the best course of action, that, they need to pursue that. They need to at least put themselves out there and, see how you'd receive that, see what would come of that, because it does, this passion isn't going anywhere, and it's only increasing the more that they are even just energetically feeling the evolution that's taken place within you. And then with that, like with that Page of Swords, what they're seeing, what they're observing about you, it's opening up a whole new level of love and attraction for you that might not have existed even before. So let's get some more messages for you, group 1. And they say, I carried guilt for the way I mistreated you. So again, if there was some kind of like a third party situation, or, they kind of backed out of maybe this road you both were headed on toward, that happily ever after, that forever. Maybe if some of them, even if they blocked access, just kind of cut things off, and there was no real opportunity to have this resolution, and that could have led to that 10 of Swords, that pain, that painful ending that's still kind of lingering in the energy between the both of you, then they feel really bad about that. It's something that, they've had the opportunity to reflect on. I feel that they've carried that guilt with them this whole time. So it's something which that also is kind of a hindrance to them making that approach, because they're just not sure how to open that door. They're not sure what to say at this point in time after everything that has occurred between the both of you. And they say, you deserve much more than I could give you at the time. So they're acknowledging here, if you were, very commitment focused, really wanting to plan a family, maybe planning getting married to this person, they're acknowledging that the level that, they were operating at the time you were last dealing with them, maybe they were, very heavily based in that kind of that Knight energy, that Knight of Wands energy of just, really focused on passion, on kind of on the physical, on, physical pleasure, physical enjoyment, as opposed to really settling down and making commitment. But it looks like with that Queen of Wands that there has been an evolution that has taken place where, yes, there is still that chemistry between the both of you. But it's something that, you really set their soul on fire. They're attracted to you from a soul level. Whereas before they may have been operating where, they were only able to really connect and really feel into things at kind of like a physical chemistry, kind of like carnal level. So let's get some more messages. They say, I struggle with love and expressing it. It just does not come easy for me. So that could be, again, some of that hesitation that they're having with, trying to find just the right words to, not only apologize, to really kind of unstick that pain, that residual pain from the past, but it's something where, they might not, this could be very new for them. They could have only really dealt with maybe some kind of superficial connections, just very casual connections. So expressing what's deep in their heart, these feelings of forever, they might have never done that before, or like they're saying, it doesn't come easy. So, words or communication in that sense could not be their love language. They could be somebody that, through actions or through gifts or through, time, just different things like that, that could be the way in which they show love. So actually, thinking of the words to say to you, this could be, causing some delays in that approach as they're trying to kind of work out those details. They also say, I wish I could have loved you the way you deserved to be loved. So that really ties in with that, saying that you deserve more than they could give you at the time. And really, they've been looking back on on the connection with you, on what occurred in the past. And, there is that guilt because now they're really realizing the depth of their feelings, maybe their ability to experience love, and their kind of trust of their heart has really expanded in this time since you've been apart. So they're thinking back a lot, and they're really wishing that things could have been different. But at this point in time, they are also acknowledging that all that you both can do then is move forward. And so it's just taking some time to kind of plan that approach, plan what to say. And they also say, I want to fight for this connection, but I just don't know how. I seek strength and courage. So great final message there from this person. As far as, they really want this. They have this desire for you that, it goes beyond the physical. Things have been made clear. They're seeing you with new eyes. They're seeing that, this love, this connection is worth fighting for. This is something that they want. They see you as their forever person. And, they could be praying a lot about that, really, asking the divine for guidance, really summoning up that inner strength to, just knock on that door, to make that approach to you. And really coming to that point where, I feel a lot of them are coming to terms with the fact that what they have planned to say, it won't be perfect. But at some point they need to make that effort. They need to make that move, take that action, and just really put their trust in, whatever that result of that is going to be is for the highest good of both of you. So I'm going to get a Kuan Yin card for some guidance from Spirit about this connection. Kuan Yin is the goddess of compassion, so it feels very appropriate in terms of somebody from, your past, and maybe it was a difficult or painful ending. So we've got Fierce Mother. So definitely right there, picking up on, divine feminine energies. If you resonate as the divine feminine, this can be, a confirmation of your masculine maybe wanting to approach again, come back around. And with all that kind of like orangish, red, that's sacral chakra and solar plexus chakra and, root chakra. And so this is really talking to that, that fiery energy, that passion that they have for you, this attraction, this definite, soul attraction. And for a lot of you, this can also talk about, maybe wanting you to be the mother of their children, or again, observing you if you have children in common, or you have, children of your own. And for those of you that resonates with, they're very attracted to, the way in which you mother your children, the way in which you are, that nurturer, that, that kind of like sanctuary, that haven. So I'm just going to read the first little part from the book about this card. And it says, Mother Fierce is your guardian. Nothing can penetrate the passionate fire of her fearless love. Your safety is assured, beloved. In the midst of any apparent challenge or threat, no matter how frightening it may seem, and no matter how insecure you might feel about taking a step on your spiritual path into more power, know that you are safe, you are protected, and you are loved. So that's a really beautiful message, and definitely ties in with this reading as far as I feel Spirit's letting you know that they're really trying to infuse your person with, this strength and this courage that they are seeking, that they are asking for, to really take that first step, to just make a move in the direction of, expressing what's on their heart. Creating, if nothing else, some kind of unbinding of this really stagnant energy, this blocked energy that exists between the two of you. Maybe even just, giving you an apology for what occurred in the past, and that could lead to some closure for you, that you can kind of release some, pain or some resentment that you might have even unconsciously been holding on to after this situation ended. Even if you, have moved into another direction, you're seeing somebody else perhaps, or you just kind of moved on from the idea of, reconciliation with this person. It could nonetheless be very healing for you. And I feel also very healing for this person, because they seem to be, definitely have been carrying around a lot of guilt, a lot of really, having reflected and seeing things with different eyes and wishing that they could have done something different. different. So, you know, it's one way or another, they need some resolution, and in some way you need some resolution, a freeing up of this energy, because there's definitely, you know, that Ten of Swords, that painful ending, it definitely feels like a lot of that on some level has been carried forth to this present moment. So I'm going to get some initials for you, group 1, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates. Okay, so we've got Z, X, H, C, W, Q, S, and A. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the turtle. And turtles are symbolic of grounding and this kind of like home, this feeling of sanctuary. So this could be somebody that, maybe you at one point lived with. You could have had a house together. You definitely could have been married to this person, or in a serious committed relationship with this person. But there was definitely, in any circumstance, this deep feeling of home that this person represented to you. And maybe this person had expressed that to you at some point as well, that you felt like home to them. This could have also been something, maybe your person traveled a lot for work, or, just liked traveling. And so there constantly maybe was this energy, or regularly was this energy of them kind of going away and you sort of waiting for that return. And then there's that homecoming and there's that reunion and that rejoice. So I feel that in the past of, maybe dealing with this person, there was a lot of energy of waiting, and both, combined then with this feeling of really missing, really longing for this person, coupled with, this deep joy and this gratitude, and the sense of happiness, like when they would return, when you would again see this person. And so this could also even refer to kind of like a runner-chaser sort of energy, where, maybe your connection was of a nature where you constantly, or, regularly, or several times at least, were, you're together and then you're breaking up and then you're coming back together, and kind of cycling through that. But always kind of circling around to this, this state of kind of coming back home to one another, kind of coming back together into the relationship. So I'm going to start with some tarot to get some more clues about who this person is, some zodiac signs, maybe even some energies of the connection between the both of you for group 2. Okay, so we've got the 10 of Swords, or I'm sorry, the 9 of Swords, and that is air energy, which is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So this can really talk about, again, kind of this energy that I was picking up on originally of this kind of waiting, of really being anxious about what's happening in any kind of separations that are occurring. Maybe if you were breaking up with this person a lot, just to come back together, that in those periods of separation, there could have been a lot of, feelings of regret, feelings of anxiety as far as, what's this person doing? Who are they with? Maybe some regrets each time, a breakup happened, or if this wasn't like a repetitive cycle of breakups, this could be the energy that, maybe you're in currently, of just this feeling of regret, this feeling almost of like panic, like what did I do by, letting this person go, or allowing this person to, kind of end things, to walk out. Maybe this person tried to, sort of apologize for something that had happened in the past, had tried to sort of restart the connection. Maybe you turned them down, and it's kind of left you with this feeling of, anxiety and regret about that. This can also really talk, though, about, just being very much in your head about what has occurred in the past, kind of like the past wounds that have lingered, maybe from this relationship, from a relationship with somebody from the past. It's led to a lot of sleepless nights. We've got the World, which for me is fixed energy. So that's Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. So this can definitely be somebody that, maybe you dated previously, that the connection has ended. You've kind of completed that cycle with this person. This can also be that energy of, again, this cycle of kind of like being together and breaking up only to come back together, kind of round and round, this runner chaser kind of energy. So we've also got the Three of Wands, and that is fire energy, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So this talks also about this, this energy of waiting. Maybe there's a lot of, waiting for this person to come back if they traveled for work, or if it was a kind of like a runner chaser cycle that you've been in or were in previously with this person, then you could have been the one waiting. Or pursuing, really waiting for this person to stop running. Maybe you were the chaser and you stopped the pursuit, and you've just kind of been waiting for this person then to realize that they're not running from anything anymore, and waiting for them to just kind of make their way back to you again. This could also be an indication that you might have turned your back on this connection. You could have made a decision to really just not allow this person back in at some point in time, to move on in a different direction from this connection, from this person. That could be the energy that you've been in, or that you are in currently. This could also be an indication that maybe this person has been, ignoring you, has ghosted you, that they're not, returning your calls, they're not responding to emails, to texts. It doesn't really feel like it's necessarily blocked, but, that they're even maybe not responding in a timely fashion. So that could have been something that was, an occurrence when you were last maybe dealing with this person, that, they wouldn't respond promptly when you'd reach out to them, or not even promptly, but, maybe like several days went by before they're answering a text back to you, or, you make plans with them and they don't show up, and you're left in this period of kind of like waiting. Maybe they, were just not really meeting your needs, just kind of ignoring your needs, or even ignoring the way that the things that you were expressing that you wanted from them. The love that you were giving them, and they were just kind of ignoring that, taking that for granted. So we've also got the Seven of Wands, and this could definitely talk about maybe this person is kind of rebuffing your advances, kind of turning you down. There could have been some energy of rejection that might have happened. This could also indicate that in addition to, like, with this energy of being really in your head, this feeling of anxiety, it could definitely have, you could have fought the urge within yourself to reach out, to make contact. If it was like a runner chaser situation, and let's say you stopped the chase, you could have really been battling with yourself as far as not resuming that chase, not reaching out to that person. You could have, again, turned your back on it. That can also, like blocked it, like just blocked it out, just ignored it. Maybe there were certain things that your person would say that would kind of like get your interest peaked again, and then you'd begin that chase once again, but that you've closed something out. You've maybe sort of like broken some kind of cycle with that, and that you really just have entered this phase of really not being responsive to that, to those kind of those love offers, or that love bombing, or even like breadcrumbing, which could have come in, that really in the past would have started that runner chaser cycle again. And you've kind of moved into this phase of ignoring that and really just fighting off that urge to really, resume maybe that old habit or pattern. We've also got the Two of Pentacles, which is earth energy. That's Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So this can really talk about, for some of you, this was maybe somebody juggling you and a third party. This could also be the energy of, juggling the relationship with you in the past and work. Maybe this, person kind of like lived in two locations, or their work kept them in one location that was at a distance from you, and so it was really having to navigate this travel back and forth, to different states, or different, parts of the country, different, countries altogether. Just something where there was just a lot that was, it was requiring a lot of flexibility on their part to really just kind of manage and handle these responsibilities, or, these things that were kind of pulling them in two different directions. This again could be like a work-life balance, or, maybe some family responsibilities that they had that really took a lot of their time and attention perhaps away from any kind of connection with you in the past. And we've also got the Queen of Swords. So this can really talk about maybe there were some harsh words exchanged between the both of you. Maybe there was some harsh truth that was delivered. Maybe this person was just kind of very direct and kind of blunt in, either maybe rebuffing your offers of love, turning you down, or any kind of rejection energy that could have occurred, or, just letting you know at some point in time that, they couldn't keep doing this cycle with you. They weren't really interested in doing this, that, they had too many other commitments on their plate and not enough time to really invest in this connection. This can also indicate, though, that, as you've been in your head, as you've had a lot of anxiety about this connection, the patterns that you've been going through, or, maybe just a situation that has initially come up, maybe with this person kind of approaching you, reapproaching you, that you've come to a place of being very certain about, a decision to end like a runner-chaser cycle, or, very certain that, you don't want to do this back and forth with this person anymore. And so you may have given this person an ultimatum. You may have, spoken your mind to this person before you kind of turned your back on this, before you kind of blocked this, before you discontinued this cycle. We also have the Star, which is Aquarius energy. So this is really talking about, that your person has hope of really being able to shift this energy, that despite maybe an ultimatum, or, some kind of like blunt sort of discussion or blunt statements that were made, that, there is still hope of, now that a cycle perhaps of running and chasing has been discontinued. It may have even instilled hope where there wasn't truly hope before, in the connection of really birthing something new with this person, really starting a new cycle, a new leg of the journey with this person. This can also talk about maybe some hope that you're still holding on to, as you may have made the decision to kind of move in another direction, to discontinue any kind of cycle with this person, that there's still hope in your heart that you both can come back together at some future point. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. So this can, again, be somebody that you were married to, or in a deep committed relationship with, a long-term relationship with. You could have had kids with this person, really built up a family. And so that can really talk about some of this anxiety that was coming in, and kind of that cycle that was closed out as maybe, a breakup, or, a divorce, and you've both gone your separate ways. But this is also then talking about, with that hope, that there is hope of, on this person's part, I feel especially, that they're really hoping that as they approach you, when they kind of deliver this truth that's been on their heart, that it will open the door to really building a solid foundation, maybe building a more solid foundation than whatever you both were working with before, or navigating through before. And this can also, again, be hope on your part that, you still maybe consider this person your happily ever after, your forever. And that there's hope that eventually you both can come back together and work things out after some time has passed. We've got the Sun, which is Leo energy, and this is again really talking about this, this hope of a joyful, kind of happy ending, a hope that things can shift in this connection, that, this might have been a very difficult decision to kind of cut things off, to end this cycle with this person, to kind of turn your back on this connection and really just fight that urge to kind of re-engage in that back and forth with this person. But that there is this hope that you can come back together and, really build this solid future, maybe, have children with this person. And this can also indicate on their part, those same sentiments, that you can really, start a new cycle with each other, start something fresh on a better foot, a more positive foot, some more kind of productive energy than what you both were working with previously. And we also have the Fool, which is Aries energy. And this really talks about, again, that hope of a new beginning. And I feel that this is definitely, you know, this person that they're right on that precipice. They're right on the brink of making that communication that, you know, perhaps it was this ultimatum that you gave them, or, you know, just turning your back on this connection, or in this phase, maybe they're the one that turned the back on you and kind of blocked things off and sort of turned away from all of this. But something has happened, some kind of epiphany or clarity, you know, something has become clear to them. And it has prompted them really to want to make a move back in your direction with some kind of offer of love, some kind of, you know, offer of apology, or, you know, kind of this awareness, what they might have been oblivious to or overlooked before, even as far as, you know, the things that they were putting priorities on, or the way that their behavior was making you feel, that could have become very apparent to them. And so they are optimistic that when they make this approach, when, you know, they really speak their truth, that it can really start a new chapter for the both of you. So let's get some messages from their higher self for you, group 2, this person that is wanting to come back in. Okay, and they say, you were my best friend and I cherished our friendship above all others. So as they've really been reflecting on things, maybe in a kind of like a separation period, again, like with that 10 of Pentacles, they're really just, they're seeing how fulfilled, and with that Sun card, that, you know, you brought them a lot of happiness. There were a lot of good times with each other. And that realization, it could definitely have led to, you know, this 9 of Swords energy on their part, of just this anxiety of kind of like, what did I do? How could I have messed such a good thing up? And they say, I still have dreams about you and our happy times together. So that's definitely that energy, again, of the 10 of Pentacles and the Sun. And, you know, this is on their mind. And I'm really feeling that they're looking back on these times fondly, and that whatever has transpired in the past, they really have hope that, you know, maybe they'll bring up some of these good times of the past, or they're really hoping to summon that energy and, you know, through whatever they tell you, or maybe even some displays of changed behavior, maybe where they weren't, you know, really prioritizing the connection before, not really giving you the time and attention that, you know, you deserved and that the connection deserved, that by really investing in that, really putting a lot of focus on that, you know, infusing that with that nourishing kind of warm energy of action and attention, that it can help to germinate and really bring some life back into, you know, those good times that you had shared previously. And they say, I couldn't handle my true feelings for you, so I kept you as a friend and nothing more. So that can definitely explain for some of you maybe why they, you know, were kind of fighting off these advances. It could have been, you know, definitely not that the feelings weren't mutual. They might have just kind of ignored you or tried to keep you at arm's length because of the intensity of the feelings that they had. Maybe this is something that they hadn't experienced before with somebody, or maybe they had been disappointed in love in the past and they were a little bit guarded about that. They still had maybe some residual kind of heartbreak that they were working through from previous relationships at the time when maybe you were last dealing with this person. And so it's something that at the time they kind of pushed away the love maybe that you were trying to offer, this, you know, this possibility of forever that you embodied. But they're letting you know that that action, or maybe just kind of, you know, deferring off into, you know, keeping things at the state of, you know, dating multiple people as opposed to just committing to you, maybe even though there was a deep attraction and connection. It could have just been so that they could keep love at an arm's length, because they were overwhelmed and not really prepared to deal with that. They could have had some issues with like a blocked heart chakra even. And they say, I'm in love with you and I'm ready to take action. I want to build a beautiful life with you. So for some of you, this could be pretty similar to what this person says when they come in. This could be what they are wanting to say to you, something along those lines of, you know, that 10 of Pentacles and that Sun energy, and, you know, this Fool of just really seeing you as a happily ever after, and really wanting to take that step, that leap of faith off into, you know, this unknown together, to building something very fulfilling. And they also say, being apart has been more difficult than I can accept. So there's that Nine of Swords energy right there with that anxiety, these sleepless nights. And I feel a lot of regret. If this is somebody you're dealing with in the past, and there was a breakup, maybe they chose to go in another direction, or just, kind of rebuffed your offers of love, or your attempts to deepen the connection between the both of you, that it's been something that, in this time period since you were last, maybe even in this cycle of runner chaser, that perhaps you have since cut off, you've just sort of, moved in a different direction in your life, that it's been something that it's weighed heavily upon them, and they're definitely missing your energy incredibly. They say, sometimes I stare at my phone and become stuck. So this person is definitely right on that precipice, like with the Fool here, of making that contact, reaching out. Perhaps if you're blocked, they are right at the point of unblocking that number, and, reaching out via text, via phone call. I feel that a lot of them, if you're not blocked, if they haven't blocked you, that it's something where, maybe they check their phone a lot to see if you've reached out to them. That they, are hoping maybe that they'll hear from you. Maybe in the past you would have been the one to reach out first, and that in this separation, maybe as you've kind of discontinued that runner chaser cycle with them, they're still in that energy. They're still kind of in that back and forth energy. They're on their part still in that cycle. They're like ready to run. They're ready to have that momentum happening, and they're feeling that you're no longer maybe chasing them. And so, they're kind of waiting. They're very expectant, like, why isn't this person chasing me? And it's given them some time to really reflect on things as, you kind of pulled back your energy, as you kind of turned your back on that, discontinued that pursuit. And it's really been something then that they've almost had to have this epiphany and really turn around and, get this clarity, get this illumination, and that energy that could have been devoted to running away from you in the past, they're wanting to repurpose that to running towards you. And so they're, again, kind of right on that precipice. They also say, I've been depressed lately. Things have been really hard. So more of that Nine of Swords energy there. And I feel that this could even be, definitely they're having anxiety about the circumstances between the both of you, things that happened in the past, this desire to kind of move back in your direction. But there could be a lot of other things happening in their life that really have them down. And that could be an explanation for some of you why, they haven't made contact at this point. They could be, again, juggling a lot in their life. And they say, I've been thinking about how I can fix things between us. So there's a confirmation again of, just really wanting to shift this energy into something that's more positive, to kind of move on from the past, kind of heal those hurts of the past. And really that this person is right on that precipice of making that move to do so. They say, I don't deserve you at all. So thinking back, that could again be that Nine of Swords energy right there. And, just this regretful energy of maybe the way they treated you in the past, or that they, just kind of dismissed the connection, or, didn't really give you the time and energy that you deserved, or, just kind of ignored you, or even rebuffed your offers of love, the efforts of love that you were making. And they just kind of, turned that away, turned that down. And it's now that they've had this clarity, they're feeling very bad about that, and almost feeling like they're not worthy of that. They're not worthy of the love you have to offer. And that could have even been something at the time that, these overwhelming feelings that they were having, they could have been dealing with some deep kind of like self-esteem, some issues, of their own in that capacity. And they weren't even at the time feeling worthy of love at all, or, from you. They also say, I'm realizing your love was holding me together. So again, any kind of separation, it's really given them some clarity, some illumination as far as, what you mean, the significance of you to them. There's this reference here to this best friends friendship. And so it definitely goes beyond just surface level passion. And maybe that was what they were used to dealing with, or that they just kind of deferred to as very casual kind of relationships. But they've really had some time to see just the different levels at which you satisfy each other, or that you satisfy this person on a friendship level, on a soul level, on a romantic level. They can really see you as a partner, as a life partner, as somebody to really build a family, build a life with. So let's get some more messages for you. Group 2. They say, I struggle with love and expressing it. It just does not come easy for me. So there's a confirmation again of maybe the energy, the tools they were working with at the time when you were last dealing with this person. And they, maybe could have had some residual wounds from past relationships that didn't go so well, or, kind of some blocked heart chakra, or just, maybe they hadn't really experienced love before, true love before, and it was very overwhelming for them. It was something which, they didn't really know how to deal with that, how to logically explain that. And instead of really leaning into that heart space, they may have chosen to kind of push this away, to sort of turn this down, because it was very much outside of their comfort zone. They also say, you just would not understand what I'm going through. Most days, I don't even understand. So there's more of that kind of that depressed energy that they're in. I feel both about this connection, about what occurred between the both of you in the past, and a lot of them could have some other things that are really going on in their life that is just, they really might feel like things are falling apart for them, or, they're juggling a lot. There's a lot of stress and responsibility that they have. And then there's also this compulsion to, move in your direction, and moving in your direction, that could result in a total upheaval of, their priorities, of the way that their life is, of their plans, of even where they're living. And it's something that could even be very overwhelming for them at this point. And that could be why they're kind of hovering at that precipice of, making that contact with you, expressing what's on their heart, as they're just trying to make sense of all of that and what that's going to look like when they, approach you, when they make that move, when they make their intentions known. What's the aftermath of all of that going to look like? They also say, you will always have a special place in my heart no one else can fill. So there's more of that best friend energy, and, that 10 of Pentacles, and just, really being the perfect match is, I feel, the realization that they have come to. And that, when this person comes back in your direction and, they convey these truths that are in their heart, I feel that this person, they're kind of fighting some worthiness issues within themselves. And they're really, though, coming to a place where, they need to tell you how they feel, regardless of if you, are willing to hear that out and are willing to start a new beginning with them, which, they're obviously hopeful for. But if it's something where you turn them down, I feel that it's necessary to kind of alleviate these lingering feelings, these kind of unspoken words that they have, or some apologies that might be owed to you, that, it's something that they're letting you know that no matter, what your decision is to commence something with them, recommence something with them, that will not diminish the, affection that they have for you, the place that you have in their heart. They also say, I wish I could have loved you the way you deserve to be loved. So there's more of that thinking back, and, just, again, this energy of like, what did I do? And, just this illumination that has come in as far as that you're everything they were looking for. And, maybe they turned this down, or, kind of turned away from this, or, kept you in this cycle of feeling that you had to pursue this person while they were constantly kind of like energetically moving away from you, or even physically just kind of, perpetuating that energy of pursuit. And it's something that, they are recognizing how disempowering that process was for you. And that it's something that there's a lot of regret for having treated you that way, and for not showing up as the type of partner that, you wanted, and instead showing up as somebody that made you feel like you had to chase that, or you had to in some way maybe dim your light, kind of water yourself down a little bit, or sort of mold yourself into the kind of person that it appeared that this person would be more interested in. This could have been some of the things that occurred along, in the past with this person, and somewhere along the lines, you put an end to that, and you really just kind of stepped into your own power and focused on your own abundance. But in the interim, they've really had this opportunity to kind of reflect on, the pattern between the both of you, and they're having a lot of regret about that. They also say, I wasn't ready for what you were offering. So that's a great closing message from this person that just sums all of this up. They may have, had some disappointments in love in the past and were just kind of shut down to that idea. Or, even with disappointments in the past, they could have, really put this intention out of wanting to find love again, wanting to experience love again. And then it's sort of like this energy of be careful what you wish for, because the universe then aligned the both of you. And it was almost like then, they found out that they weren't necessarily ready for that there were still some unresolved issues, some wounds, some fears that they were having to contend with, that sort of interfered or kind of, set this relationship, this connection on a different course than, as they're looking back, than they wish things could have played out. But everything's really, it's for everybody's highest good. So the detours that were taken, a lot of growth and a lot of clarity has come in different capacities and about different things for both you and this person in this period of separation. But it's definitely something where, they want to approach, they want to come back in. They're right at that precipice of, kind of expressing to you, I feel that, they're seeing things more clearly, and there's been some maturity that has happened, and where they may have been, just kind of this back and forth and really not wanting to commit to anything solid, to commit to anything stable or long term. I feel they've really stepped into this energy of recognizing that, they do want these things. They do want that love and that stability, and, that you're the person that they want to build that with. So I'm going to get a Kuan card now for some guidance from Spirit. And this feels very appropriate because she's the goddess of compassion. So definitely if this is somebody, reapproaching you from the past with some apologies that are necessary, or, needing to kind of clear the air, then compassion is crucial when dealing with circumstances like that. So we have Spin the Silken Thread Divine. So this right immediately is just kind of giving me this vibe of, this person really wanting to repair the damage between the both of you, repair this connection. I feel a lot of them are definitely going to open with an apology, and really this desire to kind of build something with you, that will be made known, that in the past they may have been kind of non-committal, or, just not really interested in settling down, building a family, but, there maybe a lot of time has passed, some maturity has happened, or just some clarity has happened that, all these things maybe they were running from, or that they thought they weren't ready for, it's in fact everything that they wanted. So I'm going to read the first little section out of the book for this, for some kind of additional messages about this card. In creating precious silks, there is a sorting process, sifting out that which is broken to find that which is precious and pure. You are commencing a new cycle, beloved, and it is time to allow for that which is more precious and pure, that which you wish to take with you into the future, to continue, and to release that which does not align with your true heart. Sometimes we need to help ourselves access the new cycle by releasing vows from this or other lifetimes, releasing old emotional patterns, and calling in wisdom and talents from past lifetimes. You are guided to accept this healing now. So this is a great confirmation as far as, with that World card, this energy of, having completed a cycle, ended a cycle, really discontinued a cycle with this person. And you're on the brink of either perhaps accepting an offer from this individual to, start something fresh, start on a better foot than maybe you both were operating on previously. But this is also then going to be an opportunity for you to get some closure, to release some anxiety maybe that you had been holding on to, at least kind of hear this person out, hear this apology, and to really take that as, some balm to apply to some of the wounds to your own heart, any kind of ways in which you might have constricted or closed down your own heart chakra as a result of, kind of the pain and the cycle of running and chasing, and, this process of having to really step back into your power to really kind of focus on self-love and, your own abundance. So that could be the opportunity that's provided here is, just kind of that final closure with that person, for both of you, so that you can both move on in your own separate directions toward your highest good. So I'm going to finish this reading for you, group 2, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name if you or your person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. So we've got Q, W, K, Y, Z, C, X, and let me get one more actually, B. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. I chose the Ladybug. And ladybugs are symbols of hope and luck. So I feel that this is really talking about maybe this is somebody that you were seeing previously that you've broken up with. There's been a separation. There's been an end to the connection. Maybe they broke up with you. You both went your separate directions. And there could have been a lot of time which could have passed. But the hope that someday your paths would cross again, someday you would kind of get back together, that has never left either of you. This could definitely be this energy of, the one that got away. You could be feeling that way about this person. They could be feeling this way about you. And there could definitely be this desire to, and this effort maybe in the form of wishes or prayers that, for the divine to create this kind of opportunity for you two to come back together, to really start afresh with one another. And that it's definitely, looking back on the connection between the both of you, that, you feel very lucky to have met each other, to encountered each other in this lifetime. Maybe the way you originally met this person was very serendipitous, that, it was kind of like right place at the right time. Sort of this air of magic to, the initial meeting of this person, or maybe the whole connection in general. There could have just been a lot of synchronicities the whole time. A lot of kind of, serendipitous events. So that energy is definitely, I'm feeling that strongly in this group, that there's, this urge, this desire to, if the divine could just give you both the opportunity to kind of start afresh with each other, that it's something that I feel for most of you, you're both definitely open to that idea. At the very least, this person is really hoping that, you'll give them a second chance, you'll give them an opportunity, you'll, entertain the thought of them after perhaps a lot of time has gone by. They're very hopeful. They're really hoping that, when they approach, when they deliver these truths that are on their heart, that you'll be open-minded and that it will go well and go in the direction of, restarting the relationship, or maybe even starting afresh. This could have been somebody that, you were just friends with, that there was never an actual relationship with. But, as time has gone on, maybe you've both gone in separate directions. This person is really thinking back on, hoping that there's the opportunity to make a different choice this time, where, you could have they chose to remain friends, or, they didn't pursue the connection in the past. That this is definitely something that they're hoping for the opportunity to make a different choice, to, pursue you instead of maybe opting for a safer route, or, just opting to keep things as friends. So I'm going to get some tarot now to get some clues about who this person is, some zodiac signs, maybe a little peek into the energy between you, or the history between the both of you for group 3. Okay, so we've got the Ten of Swords, and that is air energy, which is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So this can definitely talk about somebody you've broken up with, something where, it's kind of a painful ending in the past, or this can even talk about, maybe if this is somebody that you were just friends with, and there was kind of this, this attraction, these thoughts of, taking the relationship to the next level, but maybe somebody chose not to do that. That they've kind of been living with the pain of that regret. And this could have also been a long time since you last saw this person, since you were last dealing with this person even. That kind of like carrying forth that pain through the years is what I'm feeling. We've Got the Empress, which is Libra and Taurus. So this is talking definitely if you resonate as a divine feminine, and this could be in regards to, if you're watching this perhaps for your masculine, that your masculine has come to some kind of clarity that you are his feminine. Maybe when the connection ended, or this person chose to walk away or chose not to pursue the connection in favor of a different connection, or maybe just staying single. Maybe they just weren't interested in love at the time. Something has become clear to them that you're that person. You're that person that they could really build a life with. You're that counterpart energy for them. You are this very kind of nurturing and safe energy. They may have been kind of hesitant about love. They could have been, hurt in love before, and they could have been just very wary of opening their heart, of opening themselves up to, disappointment again in the future. Maybe not enough time had passed since that last heartbreak. They hadn't really resolved some of that, so they were still dealing with some of that. But I feel that in the period since you were last with this person, they may have also experienced some kind of heart chakra activation. You could have experienced some kind of heart chakra activation, just some kind of cleansing or clearing of the perception. And I feel it's the perception of the lens of the heart, feeling into this and just getting a lot of signs of, again, just this very nurturing energy between the both of you, and that this is a connection that really has the potential to, grow into something very beautiful and very prolific in the future. So we've got the Page of Pentacles, which is earth energy. That's Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And this really talks about, maybe in the past, it could have, again, just been kind of slight indications, slight offers of love, nothing very substantial that occurred between the both of you in the past. Just kind of the beginnings of things, or if you were together in a relationship, you might not have been together very long before, this ending happened. But this can also really talk about this person's intention to, bring a solid offer to you. In the past, if they were kind of wishy-washy, or, just kind of not really interested in love, that something has changed, something has shifted, that they've made up their mind, they have this clarity, they know what they want, and they're very much preparing and prepared to offer you something, some kind of token of love, or this can be even just very heartfelt communication that doesn't leave a lot of confusion there, but that it's very direct in terms of the way that they feel and their intentions for you in the material world. I've also got the Page of Cups, and that's water energy, which is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And again, confirming this kind of this offer of love. And this could be something very small and yet surprising. It could be very surprising to hear from this person, because maybe all this time has passed that, you thought you might never hear from this person, or even about this person again. So you really could have focused on yourself in that silence, in that separation, and really just, focused on your own abundance, on your own fulfillment, on your own happiness. And it's something that this person then kind of coming back around, wanting to come back around with this very surprising and solid, albeit kind of maybe small at first, just this kind of introductory offer of love, and they're not really sure how you're going to receive that. As a page kind of approaching the Empress, they're really feeling kind of small in comparison, maybe because of something that they overlooked about you. Maybe they overlooked that, you were this perfect match, this perfect counterpart for them. And so they're kind of at this point of really kind of questioning if what they have to offer, is that enough? Is that going to be enough? But it's definitely this, putting a lot of thought and effort into something meaningful that they want to present you with, a very meaningful offer that they want to come back in with, something that's solid, something that's, very heartfelt, that's not going to be not really open for misinterpretation, but it's straight and to the point. And we've also got the King of Cups. So this really speaks to, again, this person might have been operating with kind of a closed off heart chakra, or really closed off to the idea of love in the past, but some maturing has occurred. in this time of separation, from when you last kind of had this painful ending, this period of separation, or where they, chose not to move forward upon, maybe some chemistry between the both of you, if you were friends at the time, that, in this time that has elapsed, they've really matured into this place of being comfortable with their emotions, or more comfortable with their emotions, more comfortable with the idea of love, with really, being honest about their feelings, feeling their feelings, and, being in control of those feelings, not really allowing themselves even to be maybe swept away by residual hurts of the past, that there could have been a lot of healing and resolution that has come through that, that they've kind of come beyond these troubled waters that maybe were, just keeping them from really opening up to you fully in love previously. So there's been some evolution on their part. And we've got the 10 of Wands, which is fire energy. That's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So this is really talking, this is kind of a prelude. It's alluding to the end of this very difficult, burdensome cycle that you guys have been in. I feel this person has been carrying these feelings on their heart for a while, and again, with that ladybug energy, and just really hoping that they'll have this chance to kind of unburden their heart, that they're going to have this chance to end this very painful cycle with you, and maybe the words that were spoken or that were not spoken in the past, that have just kind of been hovering between the both of you, this blanket of unspoken things that have been on their heart, that were perhaps even on their heart previously, and they were just not in a place of being comfortable or ready or willing to make that leap and to reveal these things. But that this is a lot that's been on their heart. This is a lot of passion that they have for you, that they've kind of carried forth through time, that they're ready to put down the burden of just sort of hanging on to that silently. We've also got the 4 of Wands, and this is talking about, again, just wanting to maybe express to you this idea of that, they want to have a forever with you. They want to, start building something with you, that they see you as a very stable person, as, a solid foundation, a very safe kind of energy that, they can come home to, that they can build a home to, that it's something where also with this, with the 4 of Wands, this is the 1111 card. So if you resonate as a twin flame, this can be a confirmation of that as well. And we also had the Empress, that divine feminine energy. So this can confirm, this is kind of like your masculine saying that, maybe they will come and tell you that they know about soulmates, they know about twin flames. Maybe that's how they view you. They've come to this realization. It's clear who you are to them now. And these feelings, these thoughts, these things that they wanted to say that they might not have said in the past, they're ready to make all that clear. They're ready for that declaration. We've also got the 7 of Swords. So this can really talk about, in the past, maybe this person just kind of snuck off from the connection. Maybe they just ghosted you or blocked you, or, cut things off very abruptly. It could have just been kind of, shut things down in the connection with you very quickly, didn't really give the opportunity for some back and forth dialogue to talk things through. But that this is something that, they want to rectify that. Any kind of, words that were left unspoken as well the last time that that you interacted with this person, they want to really create some resolution to that. They want to move back in this direction and away from, the pain that might have been lingering, from the things that they didn't say, or maybe even, kind of the way in which they kind of cut things off previously. We've also got the Page of Wands. So this is talking about, this kind of, this blooming, and yet at the same time, this constant passion and this fire that they have had for you this whole time, that it's just been, maybe for a while, it was kind of just, they sort of turned away from it, and yet it remained an ember with them. But there's been something that's really reignited that. It's reignited that spark, this clarity that's come to them, this desire to make a move back in your direction. It is definitely fueled by a lot of attraction. So this is really, speaking about, with these 3 pages here, about, this very loving offer. I feel that, for a lot of you, they're gonna convey that they've been attracted to you this whole time, that it wasn't for lack of attraction, maybe that things didn't work out in the past, or that they'd cut things off in the past. We've also got the Six of Wands. So that's more of that hope energy. They're really hoping that, you know, you're going to receive them with an open heart, that you're going to be open to this person coming back in. This is definitely an indication that they are in the process. They are making that move towards you. That's already in motion. They're confident. They've gotten to this place where, you know, they've kind of worked up the nerves, so to speak. They know they can't keep holding these feelings anymore inside of them. They can't keep holding these unspoken things. So this can even indicate that, you know, they've walked away from something else, with the Seven of Swords, that, you know, any kind of other connection they might have been in, or some other priorities they might have had, they're just kind of, they're leaving that behind. They're kind of taking what they need out of that, the wisdom that they need. Or maybe for some of them, it's, you know, some kind of a job situation, and, you know, they've cashed in part of their 401k in order to, you know, get another job somewhere and relocate in something that's gonna, you know, make it a little easier for you two to have kind of a relationship together. So in that sense, they've kind of taken what they need from that workplace, or that, you know, that current situation that they were in, if it's not another relationship, and they've kind of moved beyond that. They're moving beyond also any kind of fears and hesitations that might have existed in the past. I feel that this ties in too with any kind of healing of past wounds, past kind of reservations about love, that they've really taken the wisdom from those experiences and they've left kind of the pain of that behind. And they're very well armed. They're operating with some better tools than the last time you were dealing with this person. Previously, this person could have, again, had a lot of repressed emotions, or kind of a clenched or closed down heart chakra, but they've done some maturation, they've done some healing, they've gained some clarity, and that they, again, have some better tools of communication, being able to communicate what's on their heart, what's on their mind, communicate their feelings, being open to, you know, speaking about feelings, to listening to your feelings, processing your feelings, and meeting your emotional needs. And so they're in this space right now of feeling very confident, that now's the time, that, you know, the circumstances are right. They've really kind of reached out, they've asked for that, you know, put that intention out there, and they're making those moves back in your direction. And, you know, they're really putting their trust also in the divine, that, you know, the serendipitous, you know, meeting will take place, or, you know, just this hope that you'll be open to hearing them out when they come back around. So let's get some messages from this person's higher self for you, group 3. Okay, they say, time has brought me clarity about us. I made the wrong choices. So this could be something that they are going to tell you directly, or this is at the very least, you know, that clarity that was coming up, that they've had this epiphany that they've had in this separation, these kind of, this choice maybe to keep these feelings inside as opposed to really expressing those, that it's something, you know, they've been carrying it around this whole time, and they really want to take the steps to kind of rectify that with you. So we also have, it's always been you. I don't know how to tell you the truth. I want a new beginning. So there's that confirmation of, you know, maybe this clarity they have now about you two being soulmates, twin flames, you being their counterpart, their, you know, divine feminine, or vice versa. This could be your feminine coming back to declare that, you know, you're their masculine. Just take that how it resonates. But they're very clear about how they feel about you. They've come to terms with that. They've, you know, taken a look at that, where they may have just kind of, you know, turned away from that previously, or denied that, or moved in another direction, just kind of tried to sneak off from that, and, you know, not face that, not deal with that. Something has happened that, you know, time has brought them that clarity. This healing has occurred. This kind of healing of the heart chakra, I feel, has really taken place for a lot of them on a certain level. And, you know, the divine has really stepped in on behalf of this connection to bring them that clarity and that kind of illumination there. And, you know, it's definitely, again, a lot of them can be conveying this to you when they approach, when they come back in. They say, you were the love of my life. I didn't figure that out before. I know now that it's true. So there's more of that energy of just this, that they're in love with you, these feelings that have been inside, these thoughts that have been inside that they've been carrying around, these truths that they might have ignored or tried to, run away from previously, that, they can't help now at this point in time but to acknowledge these things, to be very honest about these things, and so a lot of this can be part of what they communicate to you when they come back in, is this energy of soulmates, this energy of twin flames, even like a past life love, just whatever it is that they've come across and they're learning, and I feel that for whatever ways that they are broaching things romantically with you, that this time around, where they may not have been previously, that they'll be open to discussing the idea of soulmates, of twin flames with you, or they might have been kind of closed down to those notions in the past, or those kind of discussions in the past, or it might not have been something that they could really understand, that whatever healing has taken place, as much as they've felt this love and, the discoveries that they've made on their own, that the divine, spirit has kind of revealed to them, these kind of clues that have been in their path during this journey while you've been in a period of separation, that, they're a lot more maybe open-minded, or, just willing to kind of explore the different facets of love in a way that they might not have been previously. Okay, and they also say, I'm in love with you and I'm ready to take action. I want to build a beautiful life with you. So there is, again, a third confirmation right there of just, this overwhelming love. It's unquestionable. There's no question about that. They're very advanced in their comfort level with that truth. It is a truth that, again, they may have denied or kind of tried to run away from in the past, but it's here. They've reached this point of acceptance, of clarity. And, again, they're wanting to kind of move back. They are moving back in your direction and really hoping for victory in this. Okay, and they also say, I worry that you've moved on and that this is all in my head. Is it? Do you still think about me? So this can be, kind of a sign here that some time has passed. Maybe they kind of rejected a love offer from you in the past, or if this was just purely a friend situation, and there was, the feeling that there were feelings, but, they chose not to act upon that, or, chose to kind of maybe deny that it's something that, as this clarity has come in, and again, with that 10 of Swords and that 10 of Wands, I feel that it's been, some time has passed. It's been more than just a few days, in other words, since you were last interacting with this person. And so this can be kind of, this is something that they've been dealing with, as far as, that has this realization come kind of too little too late. Are you already, in a connection with somebody else? Do you even think of them in the same way anymore? Or was the rejection too much? Was, or their unwillingness to kind of divulge those feelings that they've had for you in the past, did that just kind of ruin things? Did that sort of sabotage things? So they've been navigating with, again, kind of building this energy of courage and this momentum. They're very certain about how they feel. They've got these thoughts, they've got these feelings that, they want to present that. They're making moves in your direction. And so I feel that this kind of hesitation, this is not stopping them from making that progress. But it is something that's really, it might be kind of a, with the 6 of Wands, I mean, he's not galloping. This is just kind of like the victory parade. So it might be kind of at a slow and steady pace that they're making their way to you, because they are, again, just kind of, there's some thought or some fear about, has it been too long? Was it, was this a one-time opportunity, and, things have changed? Do you still feel the same way? Did you ever feel the same way? Maybe this is something, you've never spoken about these things before. These are just kind of unspoken feelings between the both of you from the past that, they're finally have come to this point of just, wanting to act upon. But it's kind of like, is the circumstance the same? Is it really true? Did I just make this all up? So they also say, I am learning to open my heart. So there's that confirmation of that, that heart chakra healing, that heart chakra activation that has taken place, that continues to take place. Every step that they make towards you, that they, make toward honoring that truth, those feelings that they have for you, these deep feelings of love that they have. every day that they make that conscious choice to, you know, embody that reality, to own that reality, to really live that reality, it opens their heart a little further. And, you know, they're, again, just kind of navigating through any sort of like fears of, has too much time passed, or, you know, did they miss their opportunity? And as they continue on that progression towards you, again, the heart is opening more and more. They also say, sometimes I think you can be a little controlling and that pushes me away. So this can be an indication of maybe some energies of the past. Maybe this person felt that there was some kind of pressure upon them to, you know, open up to love, to really step into a loving relationship with them. Or, you know, maybe you broached the subject of twin flames or soulmates in the past, and it was just something they didn't resonate with, or they weren't really in a place of, you know, being able to understand or being able to deal with. And so they could have just, you know, left the connection. They could have just left the situation. Even if you were, you know, friends at the time, they could have even ended the friendship. And it's something that, you know, this I feel is kind of like a retrospective energy, as kind of an explanation of what might have caused that separation in the past. They also say, babe, I love you. I want to be with you. So there's another confirmation of that. You know, they're very, very certain about the way that they feel. I feel that a lot of them are going to be expressing that they felt this way for you for quite some time, perhaps the whole time that they've known you, that where they were unclear or indecisive before, they are very certain now where they, you know, where their heart lies, who their heart belongs to. And they say, I get scared if I'm being honest with you. So there's, again, that energy of kind of like, you know, did they miss their opportunity? Is it, you know, too little, too late? And so I feel that, you know, that fear that they are making that progress through, but it's keeping them at a pace where they're not just rushing in. It's just a very slow and methodical kind of process. And they also say, I don't know why I let you go. So in this period of separation, in the silence, as they've had this time to really, you know, look within and really kind of have that heart chakra activation, that kind of awareness. And it's become clear to them that, you know, the way that they felt for you this whole time, maybe feelings that they were suppressing or that they weren't allowing to be, you know, known as reciprocal, or that they weren't expressing to you. They're just, you know, it's a decision that they're not happy with. They, you know, like it said in this first card here with, you know, they made the wrong choice. The time has brought them clarity, and, you know, they, on some level, they understand that, you know, they're operating with the tools that they had at the time. Now they have, you know, evolved to this place of clarity, this place of kind of change, the change in awareness. And so they're, again, operating with better tools maybe than they had previously. But still, when they look back on the past, they're just, you know, that's part of this kind of fear as well. It's combined also with, I feel, you know, being kind of hard on themselves for the perception of maybe a missed opportunity, kind of missing that window, missing the boat. And, you know, just really some of them kicking themselves as far as, you know, why they didn't speak up at the time when they had that opportunity. They say, I struggle with love and expressing it. It just does not come easy for me. So that can refer back to that, you know, those heart chakra blockages or the constrictions, or maybe some wounds that were residual from past heartbreaks that they are, you know, navigating with, that they have released a lot of, but they're, you know, still in a process of really stepping into that trust, embodying that openness to love. And this could be something, you know, that even at the time, this could be an explanation that, again, the tools that they were working with, they weren't really good at understanding their own feelings and expressing their feelings. And so they could have just kind of rejected this or moved away from this out of the fear of, you know, not being able to really understand what it was they were feeling and not really knowing how to convey that to you. They also say, this is not the way I wanted things to end. I wish I could go back in time. So again, that energy of really kind of kicking themselves about, you know, the perception of maybe a missed opportunity or too much time having passed, and really feeling that, knowing and feeling that they made the wrong choice the last time that they, you know, had the possibility to get into a love connection with you. They also say, I fear that you will never look at me the same. It's hard for me to look at myself in the mirror. So there's more of that kind of, being hard on themselves and really not sure where you stand at this point in time. Maybe after everything that has occurred, all the time that has gone by, perhaps, if they rejected you in the past, turned you down in the past, or, just didn't act upon the feelings that were maybe like a thick chemistry. Maybe it was a pretty obvious energetic connection between the both of you, even if you were only friends at the time. And it's something that, maybe they are acknowledging that time has passed in the ways that they have evolved. They're recognizing that you have evolved as well. And so they're not sure, is the chemistry still there? Is the connection still there? Is this all in their head? Is this something that, are you open to a new beginning with them? Are you open to, really maybe commencing a love that, kind of a deferred love, sort of getting things started a little further down the line than maybe even the divine could have orchestrated things originally. This could have been something where, with all these kind of synchronicities, the serendipities and things they were really in a place where they're feeling that was the appropriate time. That's when the divine wanted things to happen. But everything happens for a reason, and definitely there's been healing on both of your part that has occurred in this separation. So, I feel that they're working through that kind of regretful energy, and they're coming into this awareness that, perhaps if you two had gotten into a connection when you were last dealing with each other, it might not have worked out. It might not have worked out from the best. You both might not have been able to grow into the individuals that you have now at this point in time been able to grow into in this period of separation. That healing might not have taken place on quite the level that it did, the kind of the heart chakra activation, that heart chakra opening. Because they've had this opportunity to really reflect on unspoken feelings, really reflect on, relationship patterns or wounding from the past. And they've had that opportunity to kind of, acknowledge their emotions and become comfortable with their emotions and step into that emotional maturity so that, now they're able to show up as a partner that is that adequate match for that Empress. And they also say, I missed out on something so good. The next person you allow into your life is lucky. So more of that kind of like regret and, this kind of this fear that they're grappling with as they're steadily making their way to you. That again, a lot of time might have passed, and do you still feel the same, or is this something where they kind of blew their chance? But they're really acknowledging that they, what they might have overlooked or been unwilling to see before, they're really seeing your value. They've really, they acknowledge that. And they also say, a part of me died when I let you go. So that is, a great way to kind of sum up kind of some of the energy maybe that they are in right now that could explain why, in conjunction with this deep love that they're feeling, there's also this deep sense of regret. So if you're kind of wondering like, well, if they feel this, why aren't they, making this known? Why aren't they saying this? And again, it's this kind of, it's like a thick fear that they're almost wading their way through. It's almost like trying to walk through like a pond full of mud, basically, where they're making progress, but it's very sticky moving through all of that. They're kind of cautiously moving through all of that. We didn't have it out here on the board, but it feels very much like Knight of Pentacles energy of just this slow and steady progress. They're not rushing in because they're still, every step that they take towards you is a step beyond fear that, they've missed that opportunity, that you don't feel the same way, that, because they didn't act or because they might have turned you down or, not reciprocated in the past, that, maybe your feelings have changed, maybe you've moved on. And it's something that it's really stuck with them. And it's definitely been a catalyst for their own emotional growth and their own emotional development and maturity that has now kind of brought them to this point where they're feeling empowered that, despite this fear, this kind of like this odor of fear that is kind of like hovering over this. There's such a deep love there. There's such a deep certainty that, you know, this person is acting very courageously and they are making that progress to you. And I feel that for most of you here in group 3, that you will hear something from this person. Even if it's, again, with all that page energy that was out here, it might just be a little something, like a small, you know, kind of like a token of love, or just kind of dipping the toe in the water. If you've been in a period of silence or separation, for a lot of you, you know, you could expect to receive some kind of communication, kind of like an opening of that, that kind of dimension of this connection. You might have felt this person energetically this whole time, but some kind of tangible 3D, you know, movement or momentum in a very positive direction, in a direction of maybe saying all the things they should have said the last time you were dealing with them. That's possible for a lot of you. So I'm going to finish this with a Kuan card to get some guidance from Spirit about just this energy, this connection, everything going on with this. And it feels very appropriate because Kuan is the goddess of compassion. So definitely, you know, in regards to somebody maybe from the past that, you know, didn't speak up about how they were feeling, didn't really take that opportunity, or, you know, turned down an opportunity with you in the past. And as they are really facing their fear and moving through that, it's definitely, you know, it's a good idea to have compassion with this person. When they come back to you and, you know, they give you that offer, they speak what's on their heart, it's, you know, a good idea, again, to have this compassion, understand that, you know, maybe the tools that they were operating with the last time that you know, were dealing with them, it's not the level that of what they're operating with now, the growth that has taken place now. So we've got Sacred River Angtes. So, and I'm probably not pronouncing the name of that river correctly. I apologize for that. But this is really, to me, talking about, you know, this river of time, this change, the journey that you both have been on separately, this kind of meandering journey of the emotions, really this emphasis on having, you know, navigated emotions, that you're both at a different level of maturity, of emotional awareness than where you were at previously. This can also confirm, you know, that a lot of time has passed, or some time has passed, that there's been some kind of acceleration from where you were previously when you were interacting with this person to where you are now. And then also with this reference to a river, I feel just immediately, this is Spirit kind of encouraging you to, you know, be open to that emotional cleansing, a cleansing of the palate, be open to, you know, this catharsis that wants to take place or can take place when this person kind of, you know, comes in and maybe speaks the truths that they weren't willing or able to speak previously, and to definitely be open, even if you know, have kind of moved on and this is just an opportunity for closure, but to be open to the possibility of cleansing out some of the kind of, you know, painful or burdensome feelings and thoughts that you've been holding on to as well in this time apart. So I'm going to read the first little section out of this book to get some additional messages about this card. The sacred river Yangtze eternally flows and changes. Just as the river flows and changes course, you too are evolving in your divine path. Veils and sheaths that once covered your soul light are being washed away. Cleansing by sacred water specifically indicates that your emotional life and your life direction are being purified and healed. Changes in the flow of energy within you and in the momentum of your life path unfolding are imminent. This is exciting. You are growing and changing, and soon your life circumstances will reflect your inner evolution. So that is a great confirmation of all this energy that came out here in terms of, you know, this momentum of change, this person making that effort towards you, making that move towards you, and just maybe a change in the perception. When this person comes forward, you know, it could really... Maybe you thought you were just out of sight, out of mind. Maybe you were the one that was thinking this was all in your head, and, you know, you had this love for this person, but they never spoke up about it. They never reciprocated that. And so them, you know, kind of coming back towards you and admitting to feelings that they had all along, or feelings that they became very clear of, they became very aware of in this period of disconnect. It can be something that really creates the potential of growth for the way you view the connection. It can definitely open up the possibility of some growth for both of you as a couple if you choose to come together as that. But some great energies here and advice from Spirit, just definitely to, be open to that, that emotional purging, that gift of, the cup of love that this person wants to come in and offer to you. And even if it's something that you just accept and you thank them for finally, confirming what it was you were feeling the whole time, or if this is something that, you accept that cup of love and you both are then at this place where you're able to then, side by side kind of step into this next leg of your journey together, perhaps a twin flame journey. For those of you that resonate as twin flames, then, Spirit is really just letting you know that this is all kind of divinely orchestrated. And even as much as this person is actively trying to make their way back to you, I feel that serendipity and synchronicity is definitely going to play a factor in the ultimate circumstances of how this interaction and this conversation takes place. So I'm going to finish this reading for you, group 3, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or your person. It can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. So we've got B, L, K, S, O, Y. Get a couple more here. Z, and C. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.